Hey guys, Pavise here with another unscripted, off-the-cuff ramble, and have I got a doozy for you guys today. Now, before we get into Domestic Girlfriend, I will be transparent and say this is my fourth take of this video. The first two times, I was so incoherent and my thoughts were so scattered and confused and undeveloped that I couldn't even justify uploading. And the third time, I knocked over my microphone with my hand motions because this show is stupid. It's ridiculous. I don't even know where to start. I guess I will start, though, with, what even is Domestic Girlfriend? For those of you who do not know. For those fortunate people out there who have not had to watch this show. Basically, here's the premise. This guy has a crush on his teacher. However, he thinks he's got no chance. He's a student, she's a teacher. They have, like that's just not gonna happen. He goes to a mixer, and he ends up hooking up with a girl. And they have sex. And it is the most unromantic sex. The girl literally I've never had sex before, let's have sex. In a very I want to have sex, I have no feelings for you, you are nothing, I just want to have sex with me. That is literally the way it is presented and the way the girl addresses it. And the guy's like, sure, why not? And they have sex. So the guy comes home and he finds out his father is remarrying to a woman who has 2 daughters. One, the girl he just banged, and 2, the teacher that he has a crush on. So now you have a situation of this love triangle between a guy and his 2 sisters-in-law. It's absolutely stupid. It is contrived, stupid, ridiculous, absurd garbaggio. It's bad. It's not good. It's genuinely not good. But after episode 1, I was like, I'm gonna watch episode 2. And I watched episode 2. And I couldn't stop watching. It was like 2 dumpster fires on wheels. The whole sister thing and the whole teacher thing that people have colliding into an inferno of straight trash. And I couldn't look away. It was so glorious. I was like, this is so absurd. This is taking itself so seriously. It's so ridiculous. How can I not watch? How can I not see this unfold? And after I had watched the episodes that had been released up to that point, episodes 1, 2, 3, I think have been released. I kept up with it weekly until episode 5, at which point I was like, screw it, I'm not even waiting anymore. I'm not even going to wait for next week. I'm just going to read the manga. And then I proceeded to read 200 chapters in 2 days of Domestic Girlfriend. And wow. Upon concluding Domestic Girlfriend, I can safely say I have no idea what I have just read. I'm genuinely dumbfounded. I think my perception on life is forever different because of Domestic Girlfriend. At some point, focus please, over the course of those 200 chapters, something happened. It went from, I'm watching this because it's a giant dumpster fire, to I'm reading this because I genuinely care about the characters and I'm invested. And I have no clue when it happened. I genuinely have no clue when this happened. Along the way, it transitioned from this is trash to I love this. This is great. I can't wait for the next chapter. Hit that next chapter button at 3 a.m. I don't know how it happened, guys. I don't know. If I knew, I'd tell you. I don't. I don't know when this happened. I don't know how it happened. But at some point, Domestic Girlfriend, of all things, got to me. And I was invested. I was in. I was I couldn't stop reading. Not because it was a dumpster fire, but because I genuinely wanted to read more, and I can't understand why this happened. At a point near the end of the current run, because the manga is still ongoing. It hasn't concluded yet. The manga is still ongoing. It releases weekly. And I'm going to be real, I can't wait for next week to read the next chapter. I can't wait. Anyways, but near the end of its run so far, there is a big breakup. And this breakup hit me hard. I was genuinely upset. I was genuinely depressed over this. I was genuinely walking around like the rest of the day depressed. I was genuinely upset. And I was just, when did this happen? When did this happen? When did this show transition from something I thought was straight trash to something that had a deep emotional impact on me to the point it affected my day? It's been a weird experience, and it also makes it hard to quantify it, because it's had such an impact on me. Not just near the end with the big breakup at the end that hit me hard. Along the way has been sprinkled a bunch of things that have hit me hard and made me rethink the way about about the world. Yeah, you know that creativity video I made where I was talking about how creativity is the culmination of the wealth and breadth. The breadth and depth of your experiences that you can reference in your creative work, and to be more creative you should branch out and try new things to increase that breadth and depth so you have a greater reference to be creative. Yeah, the seed of that idea was from Domestic Girlfriend. You know, some people read fine works, but I only read the finest. Domestic Girlfriend. That's just one thing. That's one thing. But just generally, along the way, it got me thinking and impacted me deeply in the way I thought about relationships, the way I thought about creativity, the way I thought about writing, the way I thought about breakups and what's healthy in relationships. I don't know when it hit me and got me thinking about these things, but it got me thinking about these things, and it changed my perspective on a bunch of these things, and I don't know how. Because by every measure, Domestic Girlfriend's not good. Even in the early chapters where I was watching it because it was straight trash, that's because it was straight trash. It was contrived, it was pandering, it was just predictable. Actually, I wouldn't say it was predictable. The premise is kind of... Here's the thing, despite the crazy premise, a lot of the stuff is predictable, what is going to happen, but some of the actions the characters take is so crazy. Some of the stuff that happens is so ridiculous and so over the top. But after a while, especially once the characters get out of high school and they're just college and they're just trying to find their way in life, that's when I genuinely just began to enjoy it, even though it still wasn't good, really. The romance was still mostly predictable. It was still pandering and kind of contrived, and there was still a bunch of forced elements into the story just to push the drama and push the romantic drama. Like, that felt really unnatural. At one point, this stalker character is introduced out of nowhere, and it is just stupid. And this goes on for quite a few chapters, and it's really annoying, and it's not good. But despite all of these things that are not good about this manga, that are not good about this show, it's had an impact on me that shows I consider to be good haven't had on me. Like, if I were to look at my anime list right now, I'd probably put Domestic Girlfriend pretty low. I don't think it's good. I don't think it's good by any measure. But in terms of personal impact and enjoyment, this is like, this shit's crazy. And it's got me thinking about what even is good. What makes something good? Because by so many measures, this monster that is Domestic Girlfriend is not good. But it's had personal impact. It's just had impact and meaning to me that to call it bad would feel weird, because it's had such an impact on me and changed my perspective on the way I thought about things, that calling it bad doesn't feel right. But I'm struggling to categorize it, because I'm going to be real, I enjoyed domestic girlfriend. But it doesn't fit neatly into any of the categories I usually divide things I enjoy into. Because usually there's 3 categories that I divide things into that I enjoy. Things that I think are genuinely good. I'm like, I enjoyed this because it was good. Second, stuff that was meaningful to me. I enjoy this and I enjoy revisiting this because it was personally meaningful to me at the time. And 3, I enjoyed this because it's junk and it's straight trash. And domestic girlfriend doesn't really fit neatly into that. Because is it personally meaningful to me in any way? I guess so, but not in the way that, like, for example, my kind of benchmark for like stuff I put in the stuff I enjoyed because it's meaningful to me. The benchmark for that for me is Fire Emblem Awakening, because I don't think Awakening is a great game, but it's personally meaningful to me, which makes it like my favorite game in the series. So I put it in the bin where it's meaningful to me for a lot of reasons external from, the game itself, because a lot of the reason I enjoy Awakening is external from the game itself. It was my first game. It was my first introduction to time traveling stories. It was first introduction to genuine romance in games too. It was my first introduction to a lot of plot elements and gameplay elements and the genre, so that's why it's personally meaningful to me. But that's like not the game doing that. That's like my context of going into the game enhanced my experience, or makes me think more fondly of the experience, which I put it in that like meaningful bin. But Domestic Girlfriend's not any of those things really. This isn't the first romance manga I've read. This isn't the first like manga or anime I've read. I've seen almost all of these plot elements before, so I can't really put it in this bin where it's personally meaningful to me. I guess I could, and I'll revisit that. I think I could put it in that bin potentially, but it doesn't fit into the other 2 bins at all, because first of all, I don't think this show's good, so it doesn't fit into the I think that I enjoyed this because it's good, because I don't think this is good. I don't think it's of quality. So I can't put it in there. And it's not straight trash, because the stuff in the straight trash bin is stuff that I know is bad, but I still enjoy. And I guess Domestic Girlfriend on the surface level fits that, but a lot of the stuff in that bin is bad and it had no impact on me. I just enjoy it because it's bad. So I can't really put it in that bin because it has been personally like impactful to me. And I guess that personal impact, I don't know whether to accredit that to the thing or to me. And that, because for that meaningful bin, that's like stuff that was personally meaningful because of the context of me reading it made it meaningful. And stuff I'm bringing to the table outside of it made it meaningful. But Domestic Girlfriend doesn't fit in that. And Domestic Girlfriend isn't good. And Domestic Girlfriend isn't straight trash because it actually had personal impact on me. Or it had impact on me. But I don't know if the result of that impact is the thing itself, or something in my subconscious, or something that I'm not addressing in that personal meaning bin. I think it could be that. It could be that some context I'm bringing into this made it personally meaningful, so I put it in that meaningful bin. But it's something I'm bringing that maybe other romance shows have done exactly this better, but I just haven't read them yet. And Domestic Girlfriend's only meaningful, I only think it's good because I'm coming in with a certain context that I haven't thought of yet, or I don't know of yet. But as it stands, I don't know where to put it. And it's got me thinking, like, what do I even think of this show? Is it good? Is it bad? Is it of value? Is it of quality? And I don't know. I genuinely have no clue. I'm stumped. I'm genuinely stumped. I guess the answer, is it of value? Yes? Big asterisk question mark? I mean, it's very pretty. The art is amazing. I think that's undeniable. The art is something that's really good about it. I'll say that. But outside of the art, it's not really good. I don't know anymore. I don't know how to quantify Domestic Girlfriend. This anime, this show, is just incomprehensible to my brain. I don't know how to categorize this thing. Also, really quick side anecdote, I will say that the manga is much, much better than the anime. So if you have to choose between the two, I'd read it rather than watch it. Although if you want to get a gist of what it's about, I just watched the first episode, I guess. I don't know. But the anime is not very good, to be honest, in terms of adaptation and quality. In terms of animation, it's not the greatest. I just read it if you want to get the domestic girlfriend experience. Whatever. That's just a quick aside. But anyways, back to quantifying and understanding domestic girlfriend. I'm just kind of taken aback, and I've never really had this issue with anything piece of media before. I mean, I went in expecting trash. I got trash, but then the trash morphed into something that wasn't trash, and now I'm like, where do I put this in my brain? How do can I recommend this? I don't know if I can recommend it. I don't know what makes me enjoy it. I don't know what makes it tick. I don't know what's going on. I feel certain ways about this show, and I'm trying to understand how I even feel about it after consuming it. I guess I will say, there is content in here that is meaningful and well executed. But I don't know. See how I'm just struggling to even talk about this thing? Because I think about what I've taken out of this show. Okay, the stuff on creativity, a lot of the relationship dynamics, I guess a lot of the characterization of some of these characters, like Rui. I can't pronounce Japanese names right. My bad. But Rui. I can't say it right. Whatever. I genuinely like her character a lot. Those are all things I've kind of taken away that I really enjoyed, and have had at least some meaning to me. So I can take those away. But now I'm like, okay, in terms of the creativity thing, do I accredit the show to that, or do I credit myself for taking what the show gave me and running with it into my own thing? But did I really turn it into my own thing, or was that the idea that the author wanted or intended? In terms of the relationship dynamics, I think I can really accredit that to the show. I don't know. This, basically, if I want to summarize my thoughts on Domestic Girlfriend, this is an enigma. I have no idea what to make of it, and it has thrown everything I have ever thought about media into question. What makes something good? What makes something of value? How can I differentiate between what is the author's intention, or what was intended deliberately by the author's decisions, and what I'm bringing to the table and the context I'm bringing when I'm consuming a piece of media? How can I differentiate between what I'm bringing and what was brought to the table by... how can I differentiate between what I'm bringing to the table and what the author brought to the table? And how do I know what I took away from was because of what I brought or because of what the author brought? That's probably the biggest takeaway. I don't know the answer to that question. But this got me thinking about it. And I just think about, if I have all these great things to say about Domestic Girlfriend and the way it made me think about media and the way it made me think about the way I think about media, I think that's more me than anything. The show doesn't talk about consumption of media, really. But when I think about what the show says about relationships and about creativity, I really struggle to find, can I take what I took away, due to the show or due to me? What is the street here, and how does the way the street is flowing affect how good or how bad this manga, this show is? And I genuinely do not know. And that's, I don't know. It blows my mind. This show, this manga, it blows my mind. I don't know. It is so off. It's just so incomprehensible to me. And maybe it's only... Actually, it's not only me, because I've seen people exactly say, I came here thinking it was trash, and then I read 200 chapters in a day, and I don't know how that happened. And I'm genuinely invested in the characters. I've seen that post on multiple forums that I've visited, because I've started to think, did other people feel this way? And other people did feel this way. Where they were I came for this, I got it, but then it turned into something else, and I was actually invested, and I didn't know when it happened. That was a very common sentiment I've read online. So author clearly did something here. The author has clearly hit a chord with a lot of people, myself included. So I don't know whether collectively the people like me who have reacted this way to it, there's got to be something here in Domestic Girlfriend of value, that of quality, of deliberation that made us all feel that way. Because it's not just me. Some things might just be just me. Maybe the creativity thing is just me. But it just got me thinking a lot. Way more than a show or a manga like this should have me thinking. And I just thought that was noteworthy of sharing with y'all. If you want to watch it or read it, be my guest. Don't judge me though, please. Please don't judge me. I swear. Anyways, hope you guys enjoyed this rant about Domestic Girlfriend of all things. I hope you got something of value out of this. I hope you got something out of this, because I don't know what I got out of this. I just thought I had to share with you guys how I felt about this, because I've never felt this way about, I don't think, any other piece of media in my life. And that's just crazy. Anyways, have a good one. Have a great night. I will see y'all next time. Have a good one.